Well, hello peoples of the internet, my name is Kevin and welcome back to another video. It's been so long. So it has been like 2.5 weeks since I last posted a video, so I'm sorry about that, but I had no video ideas. I kind of just fell into like a funk and we're just not going to really talk about it because we don't really need to go there, if you know what I mean. But yeah, how have you guys been? How is life? I missed filming videos and I missed posting on here and getting comments from you guys and just chatting with you. I really missed it. Also, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you probably should, because if I'm not posting on YouTube, you can come chat to me there and we can just talk. I literally love talking to you guys so much. The fact that I haven't posted in a while, I just feel like I need to like spit out so much words and just inform you about everything that's been going on in my life. So I'm sorry if I'm very hyper in this video because I need to calm down. I am one with the zodiac. Anyways, so a little bit of an update, anything that's been going on in my life. Basically, I haven't really been doing much because my life has been boring. All I've been doing is saving money for all of my traveling that I'm going to be doing in May, June and July. So I just have a lot going on. But also I am excited to tell you guys that I am going to be at BookCon and Book Expo this year. I can officially say it and I'm so excited because last year you all know I was doing my reactions to everyone's outfits at home, being really sad that I wasn't there because I had severe FOMO. But this year I'm going to be there and I'm just so excited to meet everyone, hang out with all of my booktube friends and just meet so many people. I just cannot wait. I'm so freaking excited. So if you're going to BookCon or Book Expo, please let me know and like hit me up, find me, say hello, let's hang out, let's chat, let's talk about books. I'm so excited in this video. I need to calm down. But anyways, for today's video, we're going to be talking about my March wrap up. And in March, I actually read the most amount of books I've read so far this year in any of my months. I ended up reading 6 books in March. However, honey, some of those books were not the tea. And I feel like this is kind of like my best wrap up in terms of how many books I read, but it's also my worst wrap up in terms of how much I enjoyed the books that I read. So tea. But yeah, let's just dive straight into this and talk about the books that I read in March. And yeah, I've missed you. I'm sorry I was gone for so long. Anyways, let's go. So the first book I read in March was actually my favorite book I read in the whole month. So we're starting off strong and then as we're going on through the books, it's just gonna go lower and lower. So look forward to that. But anyways, the first book that I read was Water Runs Red by Jenna Claire and I absolutely loved this book so much. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It is a poetry collection by Jenna Claire, the booktuber, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know of because she's very popular with her photography and her videos are amazing. I am not a huge reader of poetry in general. Like I usually would stray away from it. Like the most amount of times I ever read poetry was for college or in secondary school or high school. But as soon as I knew Jenna was releasing a poetry book, I was like, obviously I'm going to support my friend. Like I'm going to read this no matter what. Even if I'm not a huge fan of poetry, I'm still going to read it. But let me tell you that this book moved me in so many ways that I was not expecting. It made me cry, and I feel like if poetry is able to hit you with the emotions, it's done its purpose. That's what I feel poetry is there for, is to get a message across, to convey emotions that we can relate to. I feel like Jenna did an amazing job with this. My physical copy is coming. I ordered it on Amazon. It was supposed to come on Friday. It did not come on Friday. I was kind of mad because I was like, I wanted to hold up the physical copy for the actual video that we're doing, but alas, I could not do that. Anyways, if you have not read it yet, I would highly recommend it. It's just so good and amazing and I just loved it so much. 5 out of 5 stars. Amazing. Oh, just so good. The next book that I read in March was One Dark Throne by Kendare Blake, which is the second book in the 3 Dark Crowns series. Now in February, we know that I read 3 Dark Crowns and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars because I thought it was a little bit slow. This one was not slow, let me tell you, because I give this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved this one so much more than the first book. This sequel is so good. It's just so much better than the first book. It's so fast paced, so much darker, and it was just everything I wanted in the first book and a bit more. Only reason I can't give this a full 5 stars is like the romance in this series is still something that I'm just not connecting with, and like I'm not fully buying into yet, and I really wish I could so that I could like ship everyone, but I don't know, the romance sometimes I'm just like, I'm questioning it and I don't want to be questioning it, if that makes sense. Next book that I read was Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. If you don't know what it's about, it follows a guy named Jack who meets a girl named Kate at a college party and basically they start to get to know each other, they start a relationship and then sadly Kate dies and then it activates like a time loop for Jack where he goes back to the first time he met her 3 months ago, and he keeps reliving those 3 months, and at the end of the 3 months Kate dies every time, and he keeps reliving it trying to save Kate. I love a book with a time loop. Like, it's one of my favorite like tropes ever. Like, I love Happy Death Day. There's so many movies with that like loop, and I just love it so much. The fact that's a trope in a book, I was like, sign me up, I'm here for it, and I'm so excited. And it didn't disappoint because I absolutely loved it so much. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, as I've already said. This book reads so similar also to like Becky Albertalli's writing, and we all know I love my girl Becky Albertalli. And the main character Jack, I'm just telling you, if you decide to pick this up, you're going to fall in love with him because he's so precious and needs to be protected with all costs. Okay, so as I said, we start with the 5 stars, then we went to the 4 stars. Now the train has stopped at Disappointment Station. All aboard, said no one ever, because who wants to be disappointed with books? No one. And the first one we are going to be talking about, which I am already waiting for so many people to be so upset about this, but I am the king of unpopular opinions, so it's okay. And that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Yeah, I give this a 3 out of 5 stars. Before you start wondering anything, I just want to say, if you ask me the question, Kevin, did you enjoy Daisy Jones and the Six? My answer would be yes. So there you go. I don't want to say I didn't like this book or I hate it. No. It was just a disappointment because I thought I was going to love it a lot more based on all of the hype I'm seeing on BookTube. Everyone's just been raving about it and giving it 5 stars, and everywhere I've seen nothing but good things. And then when I read it, I felt like I was the only person who was not raving about it and was not obsessed. And then I was like, 3 stars. And I was like,
where? I'm all alone. There's nobody here beside me.
But yeah, if you don't know what this is about, which I'm very shocked if you don't, because it's literally everywhere on BookTube, Book Twitter, everywhere. It basically follows a fictional band called Daisy Jones and the Six, and it tells their rise to fame in the 70s, but more importantly, it tells the story of why they split up. And this book is told through an interview and like oral history format, which I really enjoyed. Like, I loved that aspect to the book and the way it was written. But the thing is, I just could not connect to like any of the characters. I've seen so many people saying that they're obsessed with Daisy Jones and they love her so much, but like, I don't love Daisy Jones. Like, I'm not obsessed with her. Like, yes, she's a great character and I enjoyed her, but like, I'm not obsessed with her as I was with Evelyn Hugo, which is the other book by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It deals with a lot of serious topics, so I will give content warnings for substance abuse, alcoholism and abortion. I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid did such an amazing job, especially with the topic of addiction in this book, and it wasn't like the main focus of the story, which I kind of liked, because any book I've read that's dealt with addiction, I feel like it's like the main focus of the book, and I like that this wasn't the main focus, if that makes sense. Yeah, I was disappointed. That's basically all I can say. I was a bit bored at times. I just did not connect to literally any of the characters, but I did like it, and I just want people to know that I did like it. I didn't hate it. I was just disappointed. So the next book that I read in March was The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg, and this is actually an ARC. It doesn't come out until the 11th of July 2019. If you don't know what this book is about, it is basically Disneyland but with cyborgs. That's the best way I could describe it. The book is set in the future where basically the princesses that we know in Disneyland are now robots in this one, and they're called fantasists, and the main character is one of those fantasist robot princesses basically, and it just follows her daily life and how she's famous in the kingdom. And then there's like a murder that happens, and it just flashes between stuff that's happening in the kingdom and then the court case about the murder that happened in the kingdom. It's a very unique novel, I will give it that. However, there are issues in here that I feel like were not needed at all, and I just feel like it really took away from the story. I also found it a little bit slow paced, like nothing was really happening for a lot of it. Like I really was more interested in the stuff happening in the court case. Plot twist in this was really good, and I didn't see the twist coming at all, so I really liked that, and I think that's why I give it 3 out of 5 stars. Issues that happened in it, I don't think they were needed, and that's the literal tea. Like they just weren't needed, and I just found it problematic in my opinion. And the final book that I read in March was Enchanté by Gita Trelease, and I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I did like it, but also once again I was just disappointed with it because I thought I was going to love it a lot more, and I didn't, sadly. It basically follows a girl named Camille who lives in France during the 1780s, and her parents have recently died, so she is the sole provider for her younger sister and her abusive older brother. In this world there is magic called La Magie, and there is 3 different types to La Magie. The first one is the one Camille really practices, where she can turn scrap metal into coins, and that's how she's able to provide for her family and buy them food, pay the rent for their house and stuff like that. But then Camille starts to like practice in another form of la magie, where she can disguise herself as someone else, and she ends up disguising herself as a rich aristocrat, where she's able to then get into the court of Versailles with Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI, and she starts gambling there to earn more money. Using this form of magic has severe consequences, so it's kind of like, how far will Camille go to keep getting rich? Yeah, I just was disappointed with this book. I felt like it was really slow. It's like a 400-page book, and I felt like it was really slow at times. Also, I'm still really confused by the ending and like the antagonist's goal. Like, I don't see what his intentions was, so I'm confused. I also really wasn't satisfied with the ending. So the things I did like about it is the fact it's set in France, because je parle un petit mal le français. Oui, oui, bish. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I also really loved the magic system. I loved that the magic like was something that wasn't easy to use, and it had consequences for like if you overused it. So yeah, that's why I ended up giving it 3 stars. But once again, I'm just very confused by the antagonist's plot. Like I literally don't understand anything about him or like his intentions. So I'm still confused, and I finished the book. Like, that's not a good sign, so that's why we're gonna give it 3 stars. Okay guys, so that is it for my March wrap up. Let me know down below some books that you read in the month of March. Also let me know if you're going to BookCon and Book Expo. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And other than that, I shall see you all next time in my next video. So goodbye guys.